Okay, welcome to a video which is going to show you a game I've been working on recently, which is Honest Dan's Last Stand. I want to give you a quick tutorial through how it works because I've just built a prototype. I finished it yesterday, and at the moment it's not very user-friendly, so I just want to run through how it works so anyone who wants to play test it can have an idea of how you're meant to be playing it. So the idea is that you have this base at the top of the screen, and this base is going to be attacked by orcs. I've just started a new game. You can see the orcs are coming, and we can defend it through using the turrets that we've got on our base. Now it automatically will shoot them. If you want to give it some form of instructions, you can. You can go for the closest ones. You can go for a specific lane, and it'll target those, or you can just leave it to kind of go for the highest ranking enemies, as different types of enemies exist. Now you can see our health is going down because they're all attacking. We're not doing anything. So to stop that, we do matches in a match kind of three-star puzzle. So if I match 4, I get quite a bit of health. If I just match 3, I would get a bit less health. So the idea is you're under some pressures to constantly do that in order to restore health. But the difficulty is we're soon going to get overwhelmed by the amount of enemies we got. So you can see this match here will have a special icon on it, and what that will give me is it'll give me some charge of my special ice ability. So as we'll go through, we'll build up some of our abilities through well, we'll get some health back, make sure we don't die, and we'll try and collect some of these abilities as we go through. Now, the abilities we don't want to collect are these orc icons, because they're going to go and buff the enemies in some shape or form. Now, I've got to a certain amount of XP that I can upgrade, so I'm going to increase my turret fire rate, which will make the turret fire 1/10 of a second quicker. I'm going to continue to build up a bit of abilities at the bottom so I can show you how they work. And also my health is getting quite low, so I'm going to fortunately I just got a combo, so that's going to help. But then I did also buff the enemy, so they're going to have a bit more damage for a moment. So at the bottom now, I've almost got, let me just get a fire ability and then I'll start showing you how they work. I don't know if I can work out getting one at the moment. Okay, maybe it'll come naturally as I go. Ah, there we go, fire ability. Great. So the different abilities then. If I use fire, I can click up here and it's going to do AoE damage around the base, which is quite handy because they all do tend to cluster around there. If I use the arrow-based one, it will send a barrage of arrows down a lane and pretty much kill anyone in that lane. But you see, when I use it, it uses all of those abilities, all of the charge that I've got in there. And they can level up from level 1, level 2, level 3. And level 3 is the strongest variety. So the ice one will allow you to place an ice wall down, which will last for a set amount of duration based on the strength that you have charged it up to. As I'm explaining, I'm not really healing enough as well, so I'm going to take a bit of time just to try and get my health up so I can carry on explaining. So this is a line of 5. That's always good for healing you back up. So the next one I'm going to use, I'll use another wall of ice, and then what I can do is I can place like a poison cloud behind it. So anyone stuck behind it is going to get hit by the poison cloud. So that's what the green ability does. And the yellow ability is an assassinate ability, and that will scan the lanes and it will show you the highest ranking enemy in that lane. So we can see the chieftain was in that lane for a moment there. Let me cancel this and I will change my turret to just to a different type, because at the moment it was prioritizing them based on rank. So what was happening is every time a high ranked enemy come on, the turret would shoot that over the others. So if I do this, and then we'll see the yellow one in action then. So let me just merge these. That might spawn a boss as well. If I buff the enemy, sometimes they might get a big golem helping them out. So that's something else to be aware of. So if I click on this now, you can see we still haven't got any of the different types of enemies. So we'll try merging until we get different types, and then you'll be able to see how you can use that assassinate ability for good use, because otherwise you'll just kill one of the grunts, and the grunts aren't too menacing. Now I just got a 20 combo, which has given me a lot of XP, but I also buff the enemies. You can see a wave of 5 have spawned together. That's one of the buffs. A big enemy has spawned at the bottom as well. So I'm going to assassinate the big one, and he has like 500 health, so it's really useful to do that. And then I'm going to try and use some of my other abilities to keep my base slightly more secure. So in addition to using the abilities like I've been doing to survive, what you can also do is you can use the abilities on the game board. So if I want to stop my turret from defending, well, you don't really want to do that, but you can do that in order to get it to fire at the puzzle board. So say you don't want to match, say by here, I've got an orc one and I'm worried that I'm going to well, I don't want to do that match there and get enemies buffed. What I can go ahead and do is to shoot it out of the game so it doesn't count. So I do this and it stops my turret from defending itself. So you're going to take more damage when you do that. But then it attacks it until it destroys it. and then it'll go back to the previous setting. So let me just go through and clear these enemies off a bit, and then I'll show you some of the abilities that you can use on the bottom of the board as well. Okay, so if I first use the assassinate one on the bottom, that's quite handy because it just switches a tile to a random other one. Oh, we're getting very low on health. We got to do this. Maybe I should AoE the damage out of here, try and build up some a bit of resistance. Oh no 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 no. Maybe I should have turned down the difficulty while trying to do a demo of all these things. But bear with. We will get through this. If we get a few good combos going, and then we can do an AoE fire ability now. Yeah, this will clear the waves quite well. I might wait until these get close, and then I'll use the. Actually, no. Yeah, I'll wait until they get in range, and then I will use it. Pout. So that damages most of those. Let's put poison gas down there. Right, so barrage, if you use that on your abilities, that will do AoE damage to a cluster. So you can see all of those is taking damage. So now it'd be quicker for me to destroy the orc one that I wanted to destroy, for example. The ice one will freeze a block. So this is quite handy. So if I freeze this fire one down there, let me just keep myself alive a little bit. What that means now is it's out of the game. It will not match. So I cannot swap these because it will no longer match because the fire, if it's frozen, it's taken out of matching the matching algorithm essentially. So that's quite good. So the idea really would be to freeze the enemy ones that you don't want to match. But what you can do is if you happen to match yourself a fire one, then is you can bring it back into the game through thawing it with the fire spell. So I'm going to try and heal myself up. I'm getting pretty low again. Shit. uh, uh, Come on, come on. Don't die. Don't die. I've got a few things to show. Don't do this. Where's the combo? Okay, poison. If you click on another tile, it deletes 3 different tiles of that type from the puzzle. It can cause combos sometimes, which is what I was hoping for, but I did get it. Man, it's getting quite difficult. Okay, we can clear a wave with this. This might help us kill some of those. Shit, that's going to buff as well. That was a bad move. Let's try and clear some of these out with that. Let's try and clear some more random ones out and hope we get some matches to here. Yeah, okay, cool. So I just don't want to get a fire ability to show you how that works, so how I can thaw. There we go. Look at that combo. Everything's better again. So the higher the combo, the higher the multiplier for your score you get as well, which will allow me to upgrade. And I need to upgrade my fire rate, I think, to survive here. So if I use the fire thing to kill all of these first, because we've got a bit too many, and then I will work on getting a combo with the fire ability again to show you how that works on the board. So I've got a fire spell now. What I'll do is I'll thaw this block. So if I use it, it now brings this block back into the game. And if I use a fire ability on the board, otherwise it just destroys a block without giving you the debuff or the ability back from it. So overall, you can choose to use your abilities in the game to defend your keep. You can use combinations of them together to try and defend. Or you can choose to use them on the puzzle board itself to help you progress through the puzzle. And you keep going, the enemies get more difficult, more of them will spawn, but you're able to level up your turret to try and keep up with the game's pace. So hopefully this has given you an insight into how the game works. If you do get your hands on the game, feel free to let me know how you enjoy it. And any feedback is welcome. At the moment, the design of the game is not really been taken into consideration. It's more been about getting it into the functionality into the game. So if you do have any feedback, I don't really want feedback like these buttons are hard to see because I know they're a bit bad to see. I know this part of the game is small to see as well. And I know when enemies get buffed, it's very hard for you to know what the buff is. So I am looking at adding visuals for that sort of thing as well. But any ideas for gameplay, feel free to let me know and I'd appreciate the feedback. Thanks for taking the time to watching. Your last stand is over. Or is it?